Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now yesterday we looked at some of yours, the viewers, Premier League predictions for next season. Today we're doing the exact same with the Championship. Over the last couple of weeks I've done some videos on the Championship and I've said do share your predictions for next season, and I've gone through some of your comments and yeah, we're going to be looking at some of those predictions today. Go easy guys. Like I say, recently we've seen some comments that are a little bit nasty. There's no need for that. Be nice in the comments. If you disagree, that's fair enough. Feel free to share your Championship predictions in the comments if you haven't already, and maybe you can feature in the next video we do if we do something like this again. Be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. Make sure you get involved, and let's get into some of your predictions for next season in the Championship. So then, first of all, Tone Deaf has Sheffield United to win the league. He's gone with Ipswich Town in second, Southampton third. I think most people have these three as the top three. It's just in what order. Interesting to see he's got Sheffield United above the two teams that have just come down, Ipswich and Southampton. He's then got Leicester fourth, and Leicester right now are the great unknown because of what's going to happen off the pitch. Obviously Cifuentes is going in there, it seems, but in terms of a points deduction, we don't know yet, and it makes it difficult when you're doing the predictions at this stage. I don't know, does anyone actually know when we're meant to find out when the punishment will actually be for Leicester City? Because I'm going to be doing my actual predictions in a week or so, and yeah, the season starts in about 3 weeks. Tone Deaf has also got Coventry in the playoffs, playing Leicester City in the semi-finals, and then he's gone for Borough in 6th. I think Borough will be better than last season. I think they could sneak in there, but I also think it's going to be very competitive because you've also got West Brom, Birmingham and Norwich, which is 7th, 8th and 9th in Tone Deaf's predictions. Interesting with Birmingham. I think we're going to have a real split and a divide when it comes to predictions for Birmingham City. You've then got Bristol City, Blackburn and Millwall, Wrexham 13th, that's an interesting one, Pompey, Swansea, Stoke, Derby, QPR quite low, Watford, Hull surviving with a transfer embargo at the moment, Preston surviving again, and then in the bottom three, Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford City. What? Well, there you go. Oxford United fans, you're not going down because it's Oxford City going down. I don't know why he's put that. Charlton Athletic as well. Maybe a little bit unfair on Charlton because I have liked their transfer business so far. And with Sheffield Wednesday, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have them in their bottom three. Interesting prediction. Let's move on to the next one. Ipswich first, Southampton second, Birmingham third. I said people would be split on this. The last person had them outside the playoffs. This person's got them third place. Sheffield United, Leicester, Coventry. I think Leicester being somewhere in the playoffs seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of people, because if there wasn't a points deduction, I think a lot of people would be thinking they could still compete for the top two. Let's not forget they still have got very good players, but the chaos off the pitch is dragging them down a little bit in a few people's predictions. Then you've got Norwich, Millwall, Bristol City, Borough, West Brom, Blackburn. Let's scroll down a bit. You've got Wrexham 18th, Sheffield Wednesday staying up in 19th, and then Oxford again, Stoke and Charlton. Charlton down there again, Stoke down there. Interesting. Stoke's business has actually been alright, to be fair. Let's have a look at another one. Oh wow, this is bold. Southampton and Birmingham City are the top two. Leicester are above Ipswich, and Derby and Swansea are in the playoffs. To be honest, let's bear in mind that in the summer, you obviously don't know which team is going to be a surprise, but there will be a surprise package somewhere. Like Bristol City getting into the playoffs was a bit of a surprise. Not a massive surprise. They were perceived as a good team going into last season, but not many people thought they'd actually finish in the playoffs. And maybe we'll get one of them. This prediction's got Derby and Swansea in the top 6. Coventry 7th, Sheffield United 8th. And then look at this, West Brom 16th, Oxford United 13th in this prediction, Wrexham mid-table, and then Sheffield Wednesday surviving again, Preston, Hull, QPR. At the bottom of this, he said some of these might seem crazy, but football is unpredictable. And yeah, he's got a point. He reckons there'll be some surprises. There will, but it's also about balancing surprises. You do have to factor in there will be 1 or 2 surprises, but there's not loads. It's not like Sheffield Wednesday are going to win the league, Ipswich are going to go down with Leicester, but you get my point. There will be one or two that do catch a few people out. Thanks for the prediction, and do bear in mind some of these predictions were submitted a few weeks ago. Some people might have changed their minds since then. UK Ball 2 has said, my early predictions are Ipswich and Sheffield United top 2, Leicester, Coventry, Middlesbrough and Blackburn in the top 6, which does mean Southampton are 11th. Birmingham outside the top 6 as well. What else have we got here? Watford, Derby, Hull, Oxford staying up again. Wrexham 20th. Sheffield Wednesday surviving again. I suppose some people did these predictions before more chaos has gone on at Sheffield Wednesday since, but I did have a bad feeling about Sheffield Wednesday since the start of the summer, I'm not going to lie, and it's not got much better. Although we will say, in the last week we've seen Danny Roll saying he's going to stay, which is a positive, but there's not many other positives, I'm afraid. Charlton predicted to go down again. The next one, Ipswich and Sheffield United. That seems to be quite a lot of people's picks for the top 2. Leicester, Coventry, Birmingham, Southampton 6th. Borough, Derby, West Brom, Norwich, Millwall, Bristol City, Blackburn, Wrexham, Pompey, Watford, Swansea, Preston, Hull, Charlton, Wednesday, QPR with Stoke and Oxford. So some people are split on Oxford, some people are split on Stoke. QPR, I've liked their transfer business. I'd be astonished if they went down, I've got to be honest. But as I say, surprises can happen. Also, Millwall are not in anyone's top 6 yet. I have seen quite a lot of people on other social media platforms saying they could be a dark horse. Bristol City, Norwich, all worth keeping an eye on. But the difficulty is, I think if people look at, when they do predictions of just their own team, it's very easy to say, my team will finish 6th, but when you're doing an actual table prediction, you've got to say who they're actually going to finish ahead of. And in my opinion, there's going to be so many good teams jostling for the playoffs. Right, next up. Okay, just a top 6 prediction. Sheffield United, West Brom, Southampton, Coventry, Birmingham, Leicester. No Ipswich, by the way. That's interesting. And interesting, by the way, looking at a lot of people's predictions for Coventry, because as a Coventry fan, I'm very aware of my bias. I always try and compensate for my bias and try and not get too carried away with Coventry. But I think the best thing is actually looking at what outsiders have to say on Coventry. Speaking of which, a lot of them have got Coventry to finish in the playoffs. And that's great. I mean, you rewind a few years ago, Coventry fans would have dreamt of being in this position where if you don't finish in the top 6, it's a failure. And that's where we are now, which is great. Sheffield United tipped to do well. And West Brom in the top 2. That is interesting. Oh, I like this one. Ipswich top, Coventry second. Go on, Larry. Yeah, this one's correct. We like this one. He's got Sheffield United to win the playoffs. Birmingham, Middlesbrough, Southampton, Queen's Park Rangers 7th. West Brom, Norwich, Millwall. Look at Oxford in the top half. Swansea. Now, Swansea also in the top half. I think Swansea could be a dark horse. I've seen a lot of people saying good things about the players they're bringing in, and that's true. And we did have one prediction a minute ago where they were in the top 6. Derby, Bristol City, Leicester 15th. I suppose once again you just don't know with Leicester. If they do get a double points deduction, then yeah, they could be in deep trouble. Wrexham 18th. So we haven't had many people hot on Wrexham yet, which is interesting because I think there's an argument for either way. The argument for Wrexham doing well is the momentum and the togetherness that they've got, and the budget isn't bad, of course, for a team coming up from League One. The argument against is this is a massive step up, and Wrexham are in for a reality check, and their squad isn't good enough for the top half, some people are saying. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think naturally most predictions have them around the middle. This one has them 18th, and it has Preston, Charlton and Sheffield Wednesday to go down. Right, Star Wars fan says, as a Charlton fan, I reckon Sheffield United and Ipswich will be the top 2, with Southampton, Leicester, Middlesbrough and Coventry in the top 6. Norwich, Watford, Blackburn, Swansea, West Brom, Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday 13th, above Birmingham 14th. That is bold. Portsmouth, Oxford, Charlton, Wrexham, Millwall, Derby, Stoke, Preston, QPR and Hull. We've had a couple people putting QPR down there. That is bold, isn't it? I just think Poku in particular, the player they brought in from Peterborough, is the one that I think could really do well at this level. Preston have brought in a few players. I think their business is all right. Once again, though, the difficulty is 3 teams do have to go down. You can look at a lot of these teams and say, oh, they're quite good, I like their business, but they can't all survive. And you've got to chuck 3 teams in there. But it's interesting that this person's got Sheffield Wednesday mid-table. Right, Drew James has Ipswich to win the league, Southampton 2nd, Sheffield United 3rd, Coventry 4th, Norwich 5th, and Millwall 6th. Then it's Leicester, West Brom, Swansea, Birmingham, Middlesbrough, Bristol City, QPR, Blackburn. Let's go down to the bottom. Oxford survive, Stoke survive, Wednesday, Hull, and Charlton to go down. I haven't actually looked at the bookies' predictions for a little while, but I think it's similar to that. I think it might be Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford and Charlton. So yeah, the bookies' prediction is quite similar to this one. I mean, Hull City with a transfer embargo are a cause for concern, but still have good players, don't they? Oh, I'm not looking forward to doing my predictions, I've got to be honest. Right, next up, Mad Banana says Ipswich will win the league with Sheffield United 2nd. In the playoffs, Coventry, Leicester, Southampton, Middlesbrough, Birmingham, West Brom, Millwall and Norwich missing out. Sheffield Wednesday 12th. You've got Wrexham 15th here. And then let's scroll down to the bottom again. Derby just surviving. Stoke, Oxford, Charlton. That's quite a few times now Stoke City have been chucked into these relegation predictions. If you're a Stoke fan, do share your thoughts. Are you sharing similar concerns, or are these people just writing you off and they're going to be proved wrong? Right, next up, Ipswich. I think he's misspelt Leicester there. Sheffield United, Coventry, Birmingham, Swansea 6th, but this guy is a Swansea fan. I'm not saying Swansea can't finish 6th, but I think I'm a little bit suspect of people that you can see who they support and their team is quite high. But like I say, it's not impossible. I did say Swansea could do it, and we did see a prediction earlier where they were in the top 6. Middlesbrough 7th, Millwall 8th, West Brom, I mean Southampton, I really don't get that. I think Southampton are a certainty for at least the top 4. I'm not quite seeing why people have them so low. I know there's a change in management, but I don't see it myself. Look how he spelt Portsmouth. Oxford, Derby, Preston, Hull, Charlton. Thank you for your comment, buddy. Let's move on to the next one where, oh, he's done points. I like these ones. Ipswich to get 95 points. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate when you look at what the teams have had to get to win the league over the last couple of years. It's over 95 actually, but yeah, 95 should be enough to win it. Coventry to get 89 points. That's probably the most points we've ever had in a league season ever, so that would be amazing. West Brom, Sheffield United, Southampton, Birmingham, and then Wrexham 7th. So this is probably the highest prediction we've had for Wrexham so far. Wrexham above Leicester, by the way. Then Swansea, Millwall, Bristol City, Portsmouth. Look at Norwich and Middlesbrough in the bottom half here. Derby, Stoke, Preston, Blackburn, Watford and Blackburn and Preston are all predicted like somewhere in the bottom half in everyone's predictions, but not many people have got those teams to go down. And then Charlton, Hull, and Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday getting 37 points, by the way, there. Right, next up, Andy. He says, awesome video and prediction. Here's mine. Ipswich, Sheffield United, Southampton, Leicester, Coventry, Borough, West Brom, Norwich, Bristol City. I don't think we've seen anyone put Bristol City back in the playoffs again yet, have we? Quite a few people think they're going to be chasing, but not going to make it. Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday again, mid-table. Swansea, Millwall, Wrexham, Blackburn, Watford, Portsmouth, QPR, Derby, Preston, Hull, Charlton, Stoke, Oxford. Once again, it's interesting. Do share your thoughts, guys. Is there any team that everyone seems to be underestimating? Because I would have thought, considering we've looked at so many predictions so far, at least one person would have put Wrexham in the top 6, or maybe had Portsmouth in the top 8 or something. But are those teams maybe being overlooked a little bit? I don't know. And last up then, this prediction is from a Cardiff fan. What on earth? Sheffield Wednesday to win the league with Middlesbrough. Imagine this. I mean, that would be the greatest promotion story ever, wouldn't it? If Sheffield Wednesday won the league with a transfer embargo. Danny Roll would need a statue, wouldn't he? Sheffield United, Southampton, Leicester and Coventry in the playoffs. Derby and Stoke, both on the edges. Let's scroll down to the bottom where this person's put Portsmouth in the bottom three. Wow, that is bold. I'm not sure. Are they being serious? Because it's a pretty bold prediction, isn't it? Like I say, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but some people are not going to take that one seriously. Anyway, thank you to everyone who's got involved in today's video. If you want to share your championship predictions in the comments, then we can try and include you next time. Make sure to drop a like, it's massively appreciated. Be sure to subscribe as well. We will start dropping our official predictions videos very soon. We've got the National League, League 2, League 1, the Championship and the Premier League to come. So look out for all of that and more, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.